with head coach Dwayne Killings for the University of Albany men's basketball team. Before I start, Coach Killings, how have you been?
I've been great. I've been really good. Excited for the start of the season. This time of year, everybody starts to get really excited about college basketball. It's a brand new season. It's a renewed spirit. People start thinking about the schedule and the games and all the opportunities and the new players, the returners. They're older, freshmen. They're brand new, fresh bodies. But I'm really ecstatic for this group. I thought we've had a really good preseason. I'm excited for what we can become. I'm ready to get going. It's a beautiful day today, so trying to take advantage of another day to get better.
All right, before we jump into this season, I just had some questions about last season.
Yeah.
So last season, overall 13-18, but more importantly, you were 9-9 in the conference 500. As a first-year head coach, did you feel any kind of pressure coming into that season? What did you expect coming into that season?
We went into the year, we were trying to win a championship. I thought we built a really good roster. I thought we had some really, really good recruits. I thought our staff, put together a team that was built to have success. When you look at what we did last year, I thought we had moments. I thought we did some really good things in certain moments of the season, but the consistency we didn't really have, mainly because of injuries. We had 4 guys that season-ending injuries. Gerald Drumgold obviously was with us this year, had a chance to really impact us. I think he could have helped us last year. Trey Perry, what happened to him was really unfortunate. I think he would have been an all-league player, but with all that adversity, we still found a way, and we found a way to have some success. And we're in position, to finish potentially 4th in the league going the last 2 weeks of the season. But things didn't go our way. We learned from that, and now we move into a whole new season.
Just to piggyback off that, sometimes injuries can be a gift and a curse. It can hurt you come playoff time, but I believe the gift is you got a chance to see some other players come in and fill in their roles.
Yeah.
As a coach, can you speak to some of that? What players surprised you when they had to step up last minute and they had to fill those roles in when a Dre Perry went down or the other guard that you named?
Yeah, last year I think when you look at especially the players that are with us this season, the returners, Aaron Reddish, what he was able to do in some of the games, just his talent, jumped off the page. Now, what we've talked about a lot with him is his maturity. How is he going to be in terms of how he grows up and the consistency part of it. This preseason he's been tremendous. Just on our scrimmage on Saturday, anybody that was here watching could see the potential. Now, we don't want it to be potential anymore. We don't want to be patient on what he could potentially do. We want it to be reality for the season. We're super excited for Aaron. Tyreek Kettner, what he was able to do in small doses is pretty good. He makes us a really physical team in our front court. He's an aggressive finisher, an aggressive rebounder. I think he'd be a good ball screen defender. We need that from him every day. And then obviously Justin Neely, being Rookie of the Year in the league and returning to the program this year, he's poised to have success. He's a really talented kid. He can do a lot of things defensively. He can guard 1 through 5. He can score the ball in the post, can score it on the perimeter. I will say that Justin worked really hard on improving his perimeter jump shooting. Then his decision making has gotten really good. Just today in practice alone, the way he can make other people better, I think is something that we're really excited about as a program. And, Justin should have a really big print on what we do this year. And then Namir Little, I think just injuries disrupted him, but anybody that walks in our gym says, hey, that kid can help you. He's big, he's physical, he can handle the ball, he can get to different places on the floor. Those 4 freshmen, when they had their moments in different games, they were part of the reason why we won. Just going through different moments in the season.
I have a question on that, but I have one more question on the previous season before I get to the freshmen that are now sophomores.
Yeah.
Last season, your non-conference schedule was kind of tough.
Yeah.
We saw Kansas State, Kentucky. These were big-name schools. How did playing in that non-conference tough schedule prepare you for this season?
Yeah, I'll take you back. We played at Kentucky last year, and I remember, the huddle right before the game started, the lights went out, and they light fireworks. Mm-hmm. And our team didn't flinch. And what it told me, our team believed. They believed in each other. Did we win the game? We didn't, but we competed at a pretty high level on a big stage. And I think that game, the Kansas State game, the LaSalle game, that helped us win the Boston College game. It taught us how to win. It gave us confidence. It challenged us. That's what I want. there's no program in the country I want to be fearful of playing. I don't think, that we should look at Albany and say, oh, well, why are they playing, so on and so forth. We should play some of the best basketball brands in the country for a few reasons. One, we should learn how to become one. How do we operate at the highest level? How do we think like a winning program? How do we function like a winning program? What are the ingredients that we need both on the court and off? So when we have these games, we come back and we have conversations with our leaders in our athletic department about, okay, what did we just see? And how can we do certain things at this place to help us elevate our program to have sustained success? And then at the same time, our players are being challenged, I'm being challenged, and I thought that really helped us when we got to league play. So I think the non-conference, season for us is it addresses a few things. And in all reality, we play these quote-unquote buy games, helps us fund our program. We want to operate at a really high level. So because of some of the resources we get back to playing the games, we can do more for our kids. We can do training tables. We can travel a certain way. We can reinvest into the program in areas that we think are really, really beneficial. But then at the same time, we're going out and competing, and our expectation is that we can win some of these games. And I think our kids really believe in it. They want to be challenged. We have kids with a chip on our shoulder. Some of the kids feel like they were under-recruited, but they get to prove how good they are. Some of the kids in our program, they want to go back to their home areas. We're going to take Trey Hutcherson back to Chicago, to the Midwest. He gets a chance to play in front of his family and friends against a great mid-major program in Loyola Chicago. This year we're going to play at UMass, a place that I grew up. Had a chance to be a walk-on there. My dad worked there for 40 years. It's a great opportunity. Along the way, we're going to stop at the Basketball Hall of Fame. An opportunity that some kids may never have to be able to do that along the way. Our job is to create experiences as well. And then when you look at the rest of our schedule, we go to St. Joe's. It's going to be a hard game. Take our kids from the Philadelphia area back there to compete on a really big stage. And then obviously playing Providence, and against one of the best coaches in the country, Ed Cooley and his program, huge challenge. Can we step up to it? What can we learn from it? I'm super excited for it. And then lastly, playing a program like Virginia in the ACC, what they've been able to do in the last 4 or 5 years has been tremendous. To take our program there, to be really confident, to represent not only ourselves, but our community, our school, our donors, our alumni, it's something that I cherish, and our kids want it, and we relish the opportunity.
Real quick, St. Joseph, is that the home of Jameer Nelson and Delonte West?
Yeah.
Great program.
Yeah.
So, speaking of the experience, the success at Boston College, which was big, how did that get you and your team in the right mentality, as you would say, for last year and this year?
Yeah.
That was kind of I'm sorry to cut you off, that was kind of a special moment to win at Boston College.
Yeah, I think when you're starting a program, you're building an identity. We talk about building a mentality. How do we need to think? What is our mindset like? What's our belief like? But to go into an ACC program and win a game on the road was a tremendous opportunity for everybody. And I thought it spoke values, but also gave people confidence about what we were trying to do. I think it gave our players confidence. It allowed us to build on some momentum of all the hard work that we had done for the season. But then I think it also changed our thought process about anybody that we go in to compete against, we should go in there and win that basketball game. And then open up conversations like, hey, the next time we go play one of these games, we want more people to be behind our bench and celebrate these moments with us, because we need a committed fan base. We need committed donors. We need committed alums to come in and be a part of the journey, be a part of the ride. But I thought it gained everybody's attention for a moment to say, hey, these guys are doing some really, really good things. And I think it made people excited about what was to come. So it was a huge moment, but we had to move on to the next game, and we'll say the same thing when we start the journey this season.
Now I want to speak about the freshman that turned sophomore. I forgot what game it was. I don't know if it was Vermont, but it was the game that nearly went off and had 26 points.
Yeah.
Okay, so I remember in the post game I asked him, as a freshman, how did he feel stepping up into that moment? And he named some of the things you named. He said us freshmen have that chip on our shoulder. Said him, Namir Little, and I want to say Reddish cherishes that. So coming into this year, can you speak to the maturity of them three playing lesser roles as freshmen under the seniors and grad students, and kind of taking on a larger role as sophomores?
Yeah, they've done a great job. They're hungry. They're hungry for more, as they should be. They're really talented kids. I think that they were overlooked in their recruitment process. Now the challenge for them and what we try to work on as a coaching staff is the consistency. Can they show up that way every single day? I think last year they did it in moments. They were freshmen. They didn't know what they were walking into. Being scouted. All of a sudden they think they have it figured out, and the team plays a different defense. It's a different game. They've been through it. They've been battle tested, and they're committed to building a championship level program. So I'm excited for them. Now we're trying to get them to think about, okay, what's your routine? What do you need to do to show up and be the best you every single day? And part of it, all reality is, they need each other. They need their teammates, because their teammates help them be the best version of themselves. And we're trying to get them mindful of it. We have mentality meetings all the time where we get our program talking. Why are really good things happening for us? Why are there some things that we don't want to happen? And then what do we need to do to make sure that on any given day we go out there and compete, we're the best version of ourselves? That's all we can control. If we can be the best Albany Great Dane basketball program, when the ball goes up in the air, what's supposed to happen will happen, but we just want to make sure we can control the controllables, and that's what's most important to us.
Looking at the roster, and I don't know if it's my place to ask this question, it looks kind of stacked. You have a lot of guards. How does this challenge, how does the roster challenge somebody like Namir Little, who knows, hey, I'm a sophomore, I want that playing time, but there's a bunch of guards behind me that's hungry as well?
Yeah, I think it just makes them step up every day. In order to get your opportunity, you got to show up in practice. You need to show up in Mentality Club. You need to make the plays that are reflective of us winning. But I think competition is king. If guys come in and they embrace competing each other every day in practice, they'll be rewarded for that. I could say Marcus Jackson's been tremendous as a freshman. He just competes. Is he in the right place all the time? He's not, but he competes, and I love it. And because of that, he'll be rewarded. And there's a bunch of other guys that align with that same statement. And I think, competition is good. It makes you better. You have to rise to the occasion. And I'm excited for the guys because I think they've embraced that. Now we have to figure out, okay, how do we manage it? And to be honest with you, if we can come in waves of talent, maybe one of the identities for this year's team could be that, when we go to our bench could be stronger than the other team's bench. That's okay. And it could be a year where we have a lot of depth and a lot of different guys playing minutes. Okay, cool. So it's going to be your time. You got to be ready. Then the next guy steps up, and so on and so forth.
I posted a clip that was Aaron Reddish taking the first step on Maine and pretty much flushing it.
Yeah.
And I think that speaks to some of his potential. What is the challenge for you as a coach who sees that potential but wants it more on a consistent basis? How do you press his buttons as that player but not, I don't know how to say it. How do you press the right buttons on Aaron Reddish?
Yeah, it's hard, because I think he's this past weekend, Ashley Howard came up and visited us. He's the former head coach of LaSalle and coached at Villanova, helped him get to 2 national championships, and he watched our program, and he said, man, Aaron's really talented, and he is. And he had a really, really good stretch of time where he was a high-level player. Now, the other moments, we got to figure out how do we help him play at that level in the other moments? How do we keep him focused as possible? We talk to him, we show him film, we bring him in. Some of it's just a maturity part. Some of it is helping him learn how to make the right decisions off the court that prepare him to have success on the court. Aaron's a great kid, and I think watching his growth from year 1 to year 2 has been great, but what I say is don't get comfortable. Want more for yourself. Try to figure out if he's close to being a 3.0 this semester, let's get to a 3.2 or 3.3. If you're doing all the right things defensively and offensively for 10 minutes, let's get to 15, then let's get to 20. He's got a lot of God-given talent, and he's a great kid, and he deserves to have success. What we're trying to do is teach him how to be a winner, and that's a process. It doesn't happen overnight.
You speak to some of the recruits having a chip on their shoulder, feeling that they might be under-recruited. We obviously just came off of COVID like a year and a half ago. How do I say this? For example, a Mr. Jackson, who's the younger brother of Andre Jackson, if I got that relation correct,
Yep.
plays at UConn.
Yep.
How do you keep them in the right mentality of, I know you might feel under-recruited, but maybe this is where you need to be at to hone your skills and to make the best of a correct opportunity, not just looking at it as, oh, here at UAlbany. I know
Yeah.
that has to be tough. Sorry to cut you off. I know that has to be tough because we're in a culture of the transfer portal.
Yeah, we talked to him about being where their feet are. And, I'll be honest, for him, for Jonathan Beagle, if I walk in the gym in the morning or if I leave to go home and I stop through the gym, they're always in there. And they want to win. And I think they value the opportunity because of what it represents. It represents who they are. Jonathan's from Hudson Falls, Marcus is from Albany. There's a lot of people that are rooting for them to be winners. You can win anywhere you want. And they've chosen to be here and to help build a winner. I think that they're a little bit wired differently in that they want to leave their own print on their basketball career. They don't want to go to a ready-made place. They want to go to a place and help build it. And they want to help reinforce a culture. They want to help make the right plays. They want to help inspire people. They've been tremendous. I love coaching those two kids. They're going to have success because of the way they approach it. They're winners. They're successful people. They come from successful programs. I think they've had great coaches. So I'm honored to be able to coach them. And I tell them and I tell their teammates, it's their program. I get to coach it and manage it, but it's their program. So what we do, we're going to go as far as they can take us. Both our freshmen on one end and our seniors on the other end. But Jonathan Beagle and Marcus Jackson have really positively impacted our program from the way they approach their day.
Speaking of Jonathan Beagle, as a sports fan, we all seen the film. He seems like he can score at multiple levels. He seems like he can pass all around. He's like that point forward, 6'9". But he's an incoming freshman, so sometimes coaches, when they have talented freshmen, you might not want to, as they say, let the reins off right away. How do you mix that? Do you throw him right in the fire from day one, or do you say, hey, I'm going to develop you as a freshman, just stay with me?
I tell him, to go be you. And, we're going to put him in some challenging opportunities. And you know what? There's going to be some days where he gets it right, and there's going to be some days where he gets it wrong, but we're going to be there with him. I have unbelievable confidence in Jonathan because he's a great player. He's a great person. Again, he comes from winning cultures. When you look at where he went to in high school, where he went to prep school, who he played for in AAU, Jonathan Beagle is built to have success because of who he is, who he represents, his family. They're just a blue-collar group of people that are together. He comes from a great community. So I'm excited to go to war with Jonathan. And I think he's going to really surprise some people because of what you said, his versatility. But I think that one of the things that's undervalued about him, he makes people better. And he's an elite level competitor. And I think he's going to take our program to new heights.
A few questions ago, I spoke of the transfer portal, which again, that's a gift and a curse in college, but we have to accept it because that's the new culture. You had some people stay, like I want to say Trey Hutchinson, who was a pivotal part of last year's success. I want to frame this correctly. How are you mindful of the culture of the transfer portal, but then at the same time, like I said, when you have a Trey Hutchinson that's staying, what's your message to Trey Hutchinson? Because he's a senior this year, correct?
He's a senior, yeah. I think Trey, not even looking with the portal, but I think Trey is what UAlbany athletics should be about. He's a great kid. He saw a great opportunity. He came here, took advantage of it. He's great in the community. He's great within the student body. He loves the place. He's at soccer games. He's at football games. He's having a good time. He's made great friends here. You're talking about a kid that's from Iowa. He's not from Long Island. Came from Iowa, came to school here, and he's fallen in love with it. And he represents the school really, really well. He's got his degree in 3 years. Now he's working on a master's degree. He plays basketball the right way. He plays to win. He makes other people better. He doesn't think about himself. He's a selfless kid. Trey Hutchinson's a winner. I'd say that our program's lucky to have him. He's going to make a business or organization better when he goes into the working world. And I think for Trey, could he have gone somewhere else at the end of the year? He graduated, absolutely, but he loved it here. I think our program has made him better. When he got here, I think he doubted himself a little bit. And then when I watched him, in the spring when we first arrived, this kid plays to win, he plays hard, does all the little things, and he's a pretty good jump shooter. And we just tried to instill confidence in him, and I think that confidence has showed. And, you know, there's not a shot or an opportunity that I want Trey Hutchinson to turn down because he makes the right play at the right time. He's always thinking the game, he's thinking for other people, and he has a great time in college. I mean, you watch him walking through campus or walking around town, he's smiling, he's enjoying the moment that he's in, whether it's on the court or in the community, and that's all you could ask for.
I want to speak to that because as you have your student athletes, there's life outside the basketball court.
Yeah.
And one thing that I have to commend you for is that you get all your students involved into the community. I saw numerous programs of you taking your student athletes to other schools for reading, to just do a lot of stuff in the community. Can you speak to how important it is for you to keep your kids grounded and have them working within the Albany community? Because that was very big to me.
Yeah, I think it's required for them to do that, and I say that because the game has given them a lot. They get a free education, they get a chance to live a life other people wouldn't. In some ways, the game of basketball has rescued them in some way, shape, or form. Well, they need to pay it forward. And you know, for me, when I was growing up, my parents did okay, but the UMass basketball team and what was going on around it with Bruiser Flint and John Calipari, it helped me realize what I want to do with my life. You know, without them coming into the community, I wouldn't be here. So it's important that we create those same experiences for the other people within the capital region. And you know, going back into a school is great because you know what? You know, we went in recently. Justin Neely got a big hug from a kid, and you know, it was an awesome moment. And I see a picture, but his mother comes up to me and she said, like, he's never had a male role model in his life. Well, Justin Neely is that, and he learns what that's about. That's really, really important. Daquan Davis recently spoke at a donor event. It will put Daquan up in a suit with a microphone in his hand and addressing 65 people that are really, really successful. That's uncomfortable for him. Well, when the next time when he does it, when it really counts in his life, it won't be the first time. We help him be a better leader, a better communicator. We're trying to create all these different experiences, but they mean and they do different things in a lot of different ways because we're thinking about it at a much higher level. It's not just going into the community, we're inspiring people. I'm hoping that, you know, all we ask for in return is that people come in and they support our kids. But in order for them to support our kids, they need to know our kids. There's a lot of people within this area that don't know much about Albany as a school. They don't know much about our basketball program because they're transplants that came from somewhere else. So we're trying to give them something to cheer about. And then at the same time, we're trying to do events on campus because we want more of the community on campus. This is a really special place. There's great things happening here. If you look outside my window, there's cranes and trucks building, and there's a huge investment into the university, and it's a great place to learn. It's a great place to come here for a walk, but it's a great place to cheer on kids that are a special moment in their life as they're pursuing their dreams, whether it's basketball, track and field, football, field hockey, lacrosse. You know, there's really, really great things happening here at UAlbany.
Speaking to the investment into the school, kind of sad that you guys are not going to be playing in this nice facility this season because they are upgrading.
Yeah.
How do you feel about that? Is it going to be kind of hard playing away because you're used to a certain environment, certain rims, and,
Yeah.
or is it just going to be business as usual playing away at Hudson Valley just for this season?
Yeah, business as usual for me. You know, I've said to our program, our coaches and players, we need to be solution driven. Let's not live in the woe is me. You know what? We were fortunate that the university was able to help us build a practice facility on campus where the old pool was. We have a place to practice. Great. We have a place to play. Great. Is it on campus? No. It's 15, 20 minutes away. We'll figure that out. We have a place that's our own. Now we have to go in there and we have to represent our program. And the reward is on the other side. But, you know, for our freshmen, sophomore, and juniors, they get a chance to live it. Our seniors, they're investing for the future. They're giving back to the program right away. But I think that the message to our team is, you know what? Most programs that we play, they will not have gone through the adversity that we've gone through. So can we carry that into the gym? You know, can that give us a level of confidence and a swagger about us? Because a lot of people said, I feel bad for you. I don't. I get a chance to be a Division I basketball coach, lead a program, lead a bunch of really good young men that are trying to do something special. We'll figure out the rest.
I have two more questions. Speaking of adversity, this program went through some adversity in the off season. Stories already out there, so we won't get too much into it, but we have to start this season with you missing 4 to 5 games. How have your student athletes taken that, and how has your coaching staff, um, how is your coaching staff prepared while you have to undergo a suspension for the first 5 games of the season?
Yeah, our kids, we had a conversation the other day, and they're unfazed by it. They've moved on, which I think is great, because I think, without that, I mean, you're not allowing them to enjoy their moment, right? You have to move on into what's next. In terms of, the coaching staff, they're prepared. These are really intelligent guys, committed guys, driven guys. People that have come in and watch practice, they've been blown away because they're like, wow, these guys are energetic, they're passionate about what they do. They embrace their opportunity. They're prepared for their opportunity to kind of lead with drills and different things they're doing with the kids. And you know what? They do it all together, the coaches and the team. And I'll tell you that, I'm looking at this opportunity saying, okay, well, for Bobby Jordan, is awesome. For Dan Muhammad, it's awesome. Ryan Daly is awesome. Louis Kuzma is awesome, so on and so forth. And I only say that to say, guess what? They all have to step up. That's what it is. Adversity is adversity. Now they have to step up, and they'll grow from it. I'll grow from it. Our program will grow from it, and then we move forward. And that's how I look at it. And I think that's what's most important, because the thing that we have to make sure we get right is we make sure our team and our kids are prepared. That's what it's about. It's not about me. It's not about the staff. It's about our kids. As we recruit, I think the Northeast Corridor is really important to us. That's who we are as a staff, from a majority standpoint, where everybody's from. But we want to get kids from winning programs. We want to get kids from tough programs. We want to get kids from programs that understand what it takes to win. We want to get kids that have the right mentality when they come here. We want to get kids that are really good students, really good ambassadors of their communities and ambassadors of their families. So when we're watching all these different programs, we're saying, okay, where can we get the kids that have the DNA of the type of player and person that we want to bring here to this university? And I think our staff has done a great job with that. Building takes time. You got to be patient. It doesn't happen overnight. We're not looking to be an overnight success. What we're trying to do is build a program that's sustainable, a program that shifts the narrative here within the league, but also within our community, and want people to take notice. Again, we had moments last year. Now we need to build on those moments and keep building and keep building and keep building, but we all have to do it together. And when I say that, it's the administrators of the university, it's the other coaches here at the university, it's the people in the community, it's the parents of our players, the wives of our program. We're all in this together. To do something really, really special, everybody has to be aligned and committed to it. I think the moment when you win, there's nothing like it. The process to getting to it, you need everybody in it together. And I'm excited that the people are taking response to it. I'm being told that there's all new faces walking into our arena supporting our program, which is exciting because it means people are paying attention. Now we got to take the next step moving into year 2.
Coach Killens, I appreciate your time.
Absolutely.
Exiting out of the interview, do you have anything you want to say to your community?
No, I'm just super excited for the season. I'm super excited and honestly humbled by the support that our program has gotten. But I think so much of it is about the kids. It's about the basketball. It's about the potential and the vision, but it's also about the people. So I thank everybody for that. As we move into the season, though, now we need people to show up. They got to support our kids. Our kids deserve it. There's going to be some really exciting moments at Hudson Valley. There's going to be really exciting moments at MVP when we play Siena. We just ask people to come in here and cheer us on, and anything we can ever do to help this community, to help the school, to help our program, we're here to do it, because I think that's how we create a really special experience within the Capital Region. And I think we've made small baby steps. We got a lot more work to do, but I'm excited to get going.
Appreciate your time, Coach Killens.
Thank you.